Welcome back, Toastmasters and guests. We are now at the evaluation portion of our meeting. This is where we give feedback to the speakers from the manual presentation. Today we had two manual speakers, Angela and myself. We will start the evaluation process with your feedback on my presentation. Who would like to go first? Anya.
Yeah, so this is my first evaluation. So if I'm wrong anywhere, please forgive me. I am not at any position to evaluate you or anyone here. So I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. So this is my disclaimer. And as to the things which I liked, I think it was very relatable because I am also selfish. Now I have been fortunate enough to not be told about it from anyone, probably because I have been fortunate to be around polite people, more polite people. But I know I'm selfish, so I could very much relate to everything that you were saying. And you had a really great storytelling approach to the speech, and it made me care about you getting the success through your story. I really also like the use of I am not done yet, because it helped tie together the different parts of the story. Like when you had just joined as an accountant, like how you wanted to become the supervisor, and then you wanted to join the IT team, and then you wanted likability within the IT team. So these were all different parts of the story, and I am not done yet. This phrase helped piece them all together, and that was really impressive. And it was also very humorous, which I always like. So that was really great. The one thing that I didn't like was the ending of the story, because I didn't want you to give credit to the people who didn't deserve it. Yeah, apart from that, it was really great. As for the scoring, I scored you 5 on all of the aspects except the gestures one, where I scored you 3.
Okay. Excellent job for our first attempt, Anya. Excellent job.
Ananya is always Ananya.
Okay. Captain, your feedback?
Okay, I really do appreciate the way you presented, and I can also find a lot of similarities in my professional life. I also faced that type of challenge, and sometimes I had that obstacles on the way. I was not that much very cooperative with my team members. Sometimes there was a communication gap, as you said that you had been working for yourself. You are always trying to get yourself qualified for different type of job, but people did misunderstood you initially, but at long run you made it very clear that you are with them and you do appreciate their all support, even though they did not help from their mind. That is a very good technique. And another thing I must appreciate that when I was young, I used to hear a proverb something like that: jack of all trades and master of none. But you proved that you can be masters of many and jack of none. That is a great one. So I give you 9 out of 10.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Danny.
Yeah. For your speech, I have something to say. But firstly, I must say you are the role model for the prepared speech, because in your speech, I noticed, that's a very, very wonderful story. I think you always say, but I say the I'm not done yet. Yeah, I think the I'm not done yet. That's your key information, and always pushed you to keep moving. Maybe you meet every difficult question situations, but I think from your speech, I think that's very inspiring the stories, and yeah, I learned very much, especially from that's your working the experience, and we can, yeah, I think I have maybe the similar feelings with you. Is in the beginning we meet somebody think I'm the selfish, and then we meet it difficult. So I want to say, if you share stories, and maybe you can create the more conflict. Yeah, maybe if you have the conflict, and you will make the story be interesting, and maybe somebody will listen to hear. Maybe I think it's based on your truth. So, but maybe the conflict, and we can describe and use our sound, or maybe the voice, to maybe make it very interesting. Yeah, I think it's interesting, but maybe you can get more. So yeah, if I give you a call, I think, yeah, same with the captain is 9 out of 10. Yeah, but I, yeah, I appreciate you. You did a good job. You did very performance. So like, so one point I may remember, the Anaya said is about the last person, and maybe it's just like the Naya said is a point, but I can't describe. But I agree with this point. Okay, that's my, yeah, evaluation. I think yeah, it will help you. Yeah, I learn it more. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy.
Yeah.
Mike.
Oh wow! Your presentation and Angela's presentation, both excellent for me. I actually evaluate. I cannot speak a lot, but I want to learn with you and Angela, because I want to reach. I want to speak like you. And some suggest I think if lots of non-native English speaker in the meeting, you can make some easier story, or something like that, to make everyone got very well. That's my problem. But about the presentation, I think is wonderful. For me, it's wonderful. If like Captain, if give scores, I will give 10. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, Michael, very good.
Sajid.
Thank you, Mr. Edward. It's really an unexpected, but I got an opportunity you provided to evaluate your speech. It's a learning for me as well. Of course, from the listener point of view, I may change your title of a speech. I may call to your incredible you. The title supposed to be, it came my mind. So that was the story. That is your story, and the way you delivered was really encouraging, inspiring, and resonating in many aspects for me, as well as Captain shared. I was also in such a corporate, not in captain, but in a oil field, marine, almost the same in Qatar before. Okay, and when coming to your speech started with a good opening. An opening quote: "You sow what you sow, you will reap what you sow." It's really catching opening, and you delivered very simply. That's the confidence. But because you were not prepared, because I guess you don't have to prepare for that, because it was your story only. You are just sharing with us from your mind. So you are doing that very simply, and that confidence is very visible for us as well. And the speech was really concentrated and focused on the key message you want to convey with us. from the beginning to the end, it was concentrated on the focus that area, so that it really meet the purpose of the speech, as I understand it. So the speech is any topic, yeah, because that meet exactly the purpose of the speech as well. And yeah, I was thinking all the time what suggestion I should have to give to you to improve another session. I was very scared of giving as additional suggestion for that, because the way you presented was very simple. But the only one thing I can suggest, if it's possible, maybe if you stand and deliver, we can enjoy. We would have been more enjoy that event. You can, because your body language, your expression, and that we will get a very a good experience. That is not your, but it is our personal interest only. If you would have done it in a standing position, we will be more enjoying that event. That's only the suggestion I came to my mind. The rest of all our evaluator speakers also shared the same experience. I'm so lucky for having this opportunity as well in this meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Those were all great feedback, and I have great points on how to improve on my next presentation. Thank you all so much. And with that, we now evaluate Angela. Angela's presentation was for her to reflect on her journey through from level 1 to level 5. I love that Angela relate her journey to her experience with cell phone. How we went from having one cell phone in the home to now having one landline in the home to now everyone has a cell phone. And that is pretty much my experience with Pathways as well. We went from having one place where we go for all our evaluations. In the legacy program, we had the page at the back of the manual where we wrote down our speeches and who evaluated us and what was the score, and it was all there for us. Now we have to log into Basecamp. We need to update our presentations, that we have completed this one, that we are at this point. Our VP Education has to sign off on it. Great. But I wanted to know how Angela moved from her icebreaker to level 5. What was the experience like when you were doing your icebreaker? What was the experience like when you were doing level 2? What was the experience like when you were doing level 3? How did you grow from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level 4 to level 5? What was that experience like? Yes, we pick up the pointers that you kept a journal and you wrote down what presentations you did, what the evaluations were. Great. But the growth experience I was looking for, you did point out that it took you a while to learn the difference between persuasive and motivational. That was a challenge for me too. For me, it was motivational and inspirational. Those are two different types of presentation. And I kept getting those confused. What's the difference between a motivational and inspirational? So I could relate to your dilemma. But that was the growth process I was looking for when you did your reflection. All in all, excellent job. I loved your enthusiasm and your energy in your presentation. And yes, it was relatable. Great job, Angela.
Is it possible to go around like we did with yours and get some feedback from other people?
Yes. Yes. Of course. Anya, would you like to give her some feedback?
I always like your speeches, Angela, so I like this one too, and this was no exception. Coming from you, the growth journey is especially helpful for someone like me who is just starting. So from that perspective also, it was very helpful, and I hope to take away lots of learnings from it. And the only thing was at times I got a bit lost about what the topic was or where it was going, but then that's probably because I'm new to it. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Captain, would you like to give Angela some feedback?
Hi, Angela.
Hi.
I always like Angela, the rock star on the stage, but today I missed. Today she was not dancing around. You know, the other day I saw her moving hands and eyes, lips, everything. Everything was talking. Today only her movement was a little bit less. Maybe she is a little bit tired tonight. And it was really a very good on. But the thing is, initially I also got a little bit confused, and I was not getting like on that level on to level 5 and all other things. You know, because we are fairly new. This is my second time with you people. But at the end of the speech, I found it was very helpful, and especially as she said that the uh, more is not always good, and we cannot remember all the things like many cards, many mobile numbers, etc., etc. Initially in our home we had only one telephone, and now I have got two SIM, two numbers. My daughter has got one, second daughter has got on, son has got on, wife got on, like this, so many, and it is very difficult to remember all these numbers. It is too difficult. So uh, as she said, whatever we do, we should keep a journal or record, a diary, so that we can refer to it later on whenever we need it. And by that way, we will not waste our time, and we'll get the right point at the right time without wasting any time. And we can refer to anything, to anybody, if we come, if somebody comes to challenge us. So at the end of the presentation, it was really wonderful, and it is a good learning for us. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you for that. Give me an idea now. I need to get a highlighter in my diary every time I do a project. Tick it off with a yellow highlighter. Then I'll know exactly which projects I've done. Print out the whole sequence and then highlight the ones that are done. Then I'll never think, you know, did I do number 3 or 4?
Danny, do you have feedback for Angela?
Yeah, I think Angela's speech, yeah, I want to say. In the whole speech, I think, yeah, I think you are delivering a speech, but I think maybe you are dancing. Yeah, you just you show me a good a good introduction about the Ericsson. No, it's not Ericsson. It's our Toastmasters pathways. But I think your voice and your gesture, yeah, is very, very amazing, and push me to listen to me, to focus on. Yeah, I think like all of this is elements is very interesting and attracts me attention, especially you describe the phone, the stories. I think yeah, I think it's very, very easy to understand, and yeah, I think the more words to describe you are wonderful, but I think then I have no I can't find the words. Yeah, I think it's very good, very wonderful speech.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all.
Mike?
Oh, yeah. So Angela, you will repeat this this presentation on the coming Saturday over Toastmasters Club meeting. You will repeat it, or only because only one times I not got very well, so I cannot give evaluation.
Okay,
Just
I'll try to repeat it and make some slides. And I think that will be easier for you if I have the slides.
yeah, because first is not got very well, and when you're speaking, I got a message from my coworker, so the home speech yeah, the home speech I not got very well, so I'm sorry for that.
Okay, yes.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Sajid?
Thank you once again. It's really a sincere privilege, of course, evaluating the most experienced I ever experienced Toastmaster I ever happened to confront with. So I really love that energy and that enthusiasm to deliver, to share the experience with us. Especially this is October, is the anniversary month of Toastmasters. So I happen to, so I'm really new to Toastmasters, just 1 year only, 1 year experience. So we only experienced this the latest, I only experienced the online session. I never had been a chance to offline or this personal meeting. I never experienced that. Only this latest or the first modern system only I experienced it. But I happened to see the discussions in Toastmasters International website that the previous system, pathway system like this, all this was the Angela's speech was connecting, relating with all these past memories. So in the handwritten book like this, all this diary system like this, that we never experienced it in the Toastmasters, as well as in the modern era, as the shared, everybody is now living in an online and digital world. So the previous the system was really, so that we also experienced that, but in other field. But Toastmasters, it was I never was. So all this incident coincidentally in the October month, Angela's speech was really giving a feedback and a past memories of Toastmasters to us, and more than that. But meanwhile, I missed the connectivity. Maybe you might have noticed that I had to shift my one system to another system because of the poor connectivity. So I lost some as a part of the speech, but still I connected with all the everything said, and all the best wishes, and we expect more to inspire us, like from Angela's this most experienced Toastmaster, that we have a lot of takeaway from this. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you for your feedback.
Awesome. Guys, we are at the end of the evaluation section of our meeting. We got today to evaluate 2 manual presentations. A part of your growth in Toastmasters is for you to be able to give positive feedback, constructive criticism. And the evaluation you give is not just for the speaker, it's for everyone in the meeting. Everyone should be able to take something away from the evaluations. Tonight, I got a point that I may need to stand and deliver my presentation so that you all can see my body gestures, so I can animate my presentation better. That is something that applies to all of us, not just to myself. Some of us got the opportunity to do an evaluation for the first time. A part of your pathway is for you to be able to give evaluations. You're not just here to do manual presentation. You're also here to learn how to evaluate, because giving feedback helps others grow. So tonight, you've got that exposure, you've got that experience. It's another notch under your belt. For us to be successful, we must never be afraid of taking risks. We all started out as babies. We were crawling on our stomach, then we were holding on to stand up. Then we took a few steps and fell. Then eventually we were running around the house. But we all started crawling on our stomachs. Never be afraid to start. Never be afraid to take the first step. Never be afraid. And remember, to be successful, you must be willing to acknowledge others. You must be willing to be courteous. You must be willing to help each other along. And no matter how much you dislike or not agree with someone, always be willing to find a common ground. Create win-win scenarios. These are the steps we must take to be successful. After all, who wants to be a failure? One manager pointed out to me that I did not play well with others. And in time, I learned to be a better teammate. I learned to be a better team player. Because for me to succeed, for me to have gotten my first promotion, I needed to be able to work with my colleagues. I couldn't just be the best in the department. I needed to be able to get along with everyone. So no matter how good you are, no matter if you are the best at what you do, there's always room for growth. You are not done yet. You are never done. There is always room for improvement, and there's always steps you can take to be successful. So remember, be courteous, be charming, be the best version of yourself. It's the only way you will succeed. So go forth and be successful. Guys, we are at the end of our meeting this evening. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you all.
Thank you.